Welcome to the video lecture in which we are going to understand how to solve the numerical problems method of slope deflection. As we have discussed in previous lecture that this method of slope deflection is a displacement method where the basic unknowns would be what? Would be the displacement at the joints. Displacement, when I say, will mean what? Either the translation or the rotation, as the case may be. So, as we have discussed in the previous lecture that we'll assume the each part as the fixed at the ends. Then we'll find out the fixed end moment at the ends of this part due to the applied loads. Then we'll allow the each end to rotate. Then the moment required for this rotation at this end and the moments induced at the far end due to the applied moment at the end under consideration will be noted down. If some settlement of support also takes place, then we'll compute the moment induced due to the settlement of support. Finally, we'll sum all these three moments in form of the slope deflection equation, and the equations would be solved for the conditions of equilibrium, and then finally the unknown values of the displacement at joints would be obtained. They are further utilized to find out the unknown stress resultants. So the entire process would be made clear by some 2-3 examples followed here. Say example 1, very simple problem. What it states, develop slope deflection equation for the beam shown in figure small a. Say this figure shows what is a determinate beam. That means what? It is very easy to work. So as per our assumption, let us assume first of all that both the ends, end A and end B, they are fixed as shown in figure this, second figure, figure B. Alright. Since there is no settlement of support, so the moment induced due to the settlement of support would not be considered. So moments at A and B would be considered due to the applied loads, this P1 and P2, and the rotation, if it is permitted to rotate at A by theta A, and moment required to rotate the end B by theta B. So if I take the end A only, so what I should write down the equation? Moment at A is equal to what? Fixed end moment at A produced due to the loads acting upon the span AB. This M2 is what? Is the moment required to rotate end A plus moment induced at A when the end B was rotated. So then, and this M3 is going to become 0 here in this case. So in this case, I can divide this M2 into two parts, M11 and M12. This M11 I will call by the name moment required at A to rotate the end A by amount theta A, that is the 4 EI theta A upon L, and this M12 is what? Moment induced at A due to the applied moment at B to rotate the end B by amount theta B. So the moment required, moment induced at A would be what? Would be half of that, as we have discussed in the previous lectures. And this moment M3, if it is there, that is going to become the hogging moment or anticlockwise moment, that is going to become minus 6 delta upon L square. So total equation, if I simplify the equation, this equation, I can sum up like this: MFAB, that is the fixed end moment due to the external loads at A, plus take 2 EI common from here, 2 EI upon L common from here. Here we will have 2 theta A plus theta B minus 6 EI delta upon L square. Similarly, if I wish to write down the equation for the moment at B, I can write down MB equals MFBA, that is the fixed end moment produced at B due to loading, plus 2 EI upon L inside the bracket 2 theta B plus theta A minus 6 EI delta upon L square. To explain further how this M2, that is the moment required to rotate the ends, say M2, notice has two parts. You can notice here this M11 is what? Is the moment required This m11 is what? Is the moment required to rotate the end A by amount theta A, that is 4 ei theta A upon L, and at the same time this rotation of end A is going to induce a moment at 2, that is how much? Half of the applied moment, that is the 2 ei theta A upon L. Then adding another case that when the moment is applied at B and A is assumed to remain fixed, then the same thing is happening. That moment required at B to rotate the and B by amount theta B is 4 ei theta B upon L, and the moment induced at A, that is m12, is 2 ei theta B upon L as shown here. Alright. So how we were able to write down the equation on the previous case? You have just understood. Now let's take up some next example. Example 2 says that analyze propped cantilever beam shown in figure 1. When it is said that analyze means what? Means you need to go for the shear force diagram, bending moment diagram, everything. Not only you have to make the numerical solution, but you have to end up your problem statement with a solution of diagrams in the zone shear force and in the zone bending moment. So notice carefully the problem statement. The real beam is having a prop at the free end B. That means it was initially a cantilever beam and has been propped by a support at B, which makes the beam indeterminate in nature. Load P is acting at L by 2 from the end A and end B both. Okay, so analogous fixed end beam is shown in next figure. You can notice here both the ends are assumed to be fixed and A and B both are fixed. Alright, then first step is what? To find out the fixed end moment due to the loads applied upon the structure. So as we have discussed in previous lectures that this is the case when the point load is acting at midspan of the beam, fixed beam, then the fixed end moment at A is anti-clockwise in nature, or sorry, hogging in nature, and that is minus PL upon 8, and at B it is plus PL upon 8. Alright. Since in the problem it is not being mentioned that there is any settlement of any support, so therefore we will ignore the M3. So therefore the slope deflection equation, which we can write down at A and B, would be something like this. At A, MFAB plus 2 EI upon L, inside the bracket 2 theta A plus theta B. And notice here, since in the real beam given problem this support A is a fixed support, so therefore this theta A is going to become equal to 0. It will not happen in the real problem. So therefore I can place theta A equals 0 in the equation, and I will end up with a relationship like this as shown in the equation 1 here. Notice. Similarly, the moment at B can be written as PL upon 8 plus 2 EI upon L into 2 theta B. Moving further, the third step is what? Applying the moment equilibrium equation. So what supports, joints we are having? We are having joint A and joint B. So joint A will have some moment definitely because it is a fixed end, but joint B will not have any bending moment because it is a simple end. So therefore saying this, that moment at B equal to 0 due to the roller end. Alright, being roller end. So what the moment you are having at joint B? We are having only one moment, that is a moment at B equal to 0. So what's our equation we are having for the moment at B equal to 0? Equated equal to 0. From here we obtain a value of EI theta B equal to something, or rather I should say theta B is having some value as mentioned here. That means the unknown joint displacement theta B is now known to me in terms of the applied load P, span of the beam L, and flexural rigidity EI of the beam. If I substitute this value of theta B in the next step, that is the step 4, to find the value of MA, say moment at B is going to become 0. That should come here. So I will obtain a value of moment at A equal to how much? 3 minus 3 PL upon 16 as mentioned here. Alright. Nature is what? Nature is hogging. Knowing the value of moment at A, now I can find out for the reaction side support. So support reactions. If I take moment about A, VB is the reaction at B into L minus P into L by 2 plus MA equals 0. From here I get VB equals 5P upon 16 and VA equals 11P upon 16. You can solve it by your own afterwards. Moment at C can be computed from the end B. Alright. One more problem. A little bit larger problem than the previous one. Previous one problem was having only one span. Now it's a beam having the three spans. Out of the three spans, the last span is the overhanging span or the cantilever part. Other two span A, B and BC, they are having the length of 4 meters, 6 meter. Span CD is having a length of 2 meters. Loads, they are shown in the problem. And it has been told that the support B sinks by 10 mm. You can notice here the value of E and I has also been mentioned in the problem. So what is the step 1? Assuming each part AB, then part BC, then part CD as a fixed. So in this case, the part CD will consider as a cantilever fixed at C only. Will not assume the end D as a fixed end. So finding out the fixed end moment. Part AB is the case again of the mid-span loading of point load. So minus WL upon 8 and plus WL upon 8 as mentioned here. You can compute afterwards by your own. Part BC is having a UDL upon the entire span. So moments at the ends minus WL square 0.12 and plus WL square 0.12, that is the 30 kilonewton negative and positive at A and B, at B and C respectively. And CD, treating this CD as the cantilever only. So minus 40 kilonewton meter. Okay. Next is what? The fixed end moments, they are also to be computed due to the sinking of support B. When the support B sinks in the downward direction, means what? The support B is lower with respect to support A, or I should say for the span AB, the right support has gone down with respect to left support, and for the portion BC, the left support B has gone down with respect to the right support C. So therefore, in the span AB, the sinking would be negative 6 EI delta upon L square, placing the values. So I will get the value of minus 75 kilonewton meter here. And for the part BC, sinking of BC, since it is having the reverse action in the portion BC, the left part is going downward with respect to the right part against to our similar to our assumption made in beginning. Then it is the positive moment. All right. So that is how much, placing the value of span length 6 meter, delta is 10 given to you. So you will get the answer of 33.33 kilonewton meter. That is the moment produced in the part BC due to sinking of support B in the downward direction, and the moment of minus 75 kilonewton meter is the moment due to sinking of support B in the downward direction. Next, we'll have to write down the slope deflection equation at each joint. So at joint A, at joint A, moment AB equals fixed end moment AB at A plus 2 EI upon L AB, 2 theta A plus theta B plus 6 EI delta upon L square. Alright, similarly for the at joint B in the span AB, similarly in the span BC, at B in the span BC, at C, and in the span CD at C. If I correct the theta value of theta or substitute the value of theta, since the theta A is going to become 0 here. Alright, fixed end moments, that has been computed already. 6 EI delta upon L square, that has been computed already in the previous steps. See, so if I place the values in the relation which we have mentioned for the as the slope deflection equation, I will end up with the relationship for MAB equals the equation 1, MBA equals equation 2 as theta equal to 0, MBC and MCB as equation 3 and 4, and MCD equals minus 40 as earlier we have mentioned. Alright, now but we have done what? We have followed the steps. Step 1, assume the fixed ends as fixed, then find out fixed end moment, find out any kind of sinking of support if it is there, moments due to that sinking of support, add the two moments, and then finally place in the relationship of M1, M2 and M3 to generate the slope deflection equation. Place the values known to me, known to us, and find out the final version of the equations. Now we are going to solve these equations. Okay, so what is the step 4? applying the moment equilibrium equation at joint B and C. Notice one thing very much carefully. This joint B and joint C, they will not have any bending moment. That means what? At the joint B, the part BA and part BC both are meeting. That means what? If the part BA is having some kind of moment, the part BC must have the equal and opposite moment, so that the net moment at B remains 0. Otherwise, if it is not 0, the portion of the beam at B will not be controlled, will rotate along the direction of unbalanced moment. Okay? So, moments at B is what? MBA and MBC. So, summation of MBA and MBC should be equal to 0. Moment at C, summation of MCB and MCD equal to 0, as mentioned here at the bottom of the slide. So, applying the equation, we'll end up with some two new equations, equation 6 and 7. Solving these two equations, equation 6 and 7, which we have obtained by applying the moment equilibrium equation at B and C, we get the values of theta B and theta C. Alright, theta B here and theta C here. Now, if I place the values of theta B and theta C in the equations for the moments at A, B, moment at A, moment at B, that is MAB, MBA, MBC and MBC, I will find the answer. Notice one thing very much carefully. At joint B, you should get the value of moment. You should get the value of moment MBA exactly equal to same and opposite to the value of moment at B in the part BC. That is the MBA should be equal to MBC from the solution. You can notice it very much carefully. Alright. So if you are not getting the same answer, then you need to become careful and you need to go back that where you had made a mistake. Find it out. Notice one thing carefully. The problem is not difficult. The problem is containing a lot of mathematical computation and solution. Therefore, it becomes lengthier. And after it becomes lengthier, there is a possibility of making mistake during the entire progress of the problem at some position. So be careful, solve it carefully, don't make the mistake, otherwise you are going to lose marks in your examinations. So let's discuss one more problem. It states that develop SFD, BMD and deflected shape of the given beam. Interesting, huh? Interesting. Will be a little bit longer problem. It's a 2-span beam. First span AB having a central point load. Span BC is having a UVL having intensity 0 at B and some 6 kN per meter at C. So considering both the parts at the fixed end shown in figure B here, then finding out the fixed end moment. Say in the problem, nobody has mentioned that any one of the support is going to settle. So we'll leave the contribution of settlement of support. We'll write down only two parts, M1 and M2. So moment, fixed end moment due to load in the span AB, MF AB and MF BA as per the standard cases which we have discussed earlier, and the fixed end moment in the portion BC. So notice, you may not be remembering that what is the fixed end moment for the case of UVL. So when the UVL is something like this, then the moment at this B is what? WL square upon 30, and moment where the loading rate has been increased, that is the WL square upon 20. You can notice here. And you can recall, you can remember it properly for your understanding, because in the examination nobody will tell you that what is the value of fixed end moment for this particular case. Okay. Now we'll write down the slope deflection equation at A in the span AB. MAB equals 2 EI theta B upon 8, because theta A is going to become 0. Alright, being the fixed end. Minus 10 is what? Is the fixed end moment due to the loads here. Okay. Similarly, MBA like this. Alright. Then in the span BC, we can write down the equation for the MBC and MCB as we have mentioned here. Now apply the moment equilibrium equation at joint B. Net moment at B must become equal to 0. That means what? Moment MBA and moment MBC should be equal to 0. Summation of the two moments at B should be equal to 0. Okay, like this. Then from here we will get the value of theta B minus 2.4 upon EI. Place this value of the theta B in the relation for the MAB and MBA. Sorry, it is misprint here. It should be MBA. It should be MBA, MBC and MCB. We'll have the values of the moments which were unknown to me basically at the beginning. Now after knowing the value of theta b, they are known to me like this. So in this figure C, you can notice the moments and the reactions they have been shown. The load which was given to you initially 10 kilonewton, moments at A and at B in the part AB has been computed by us. Right now they are mentioned here. Say it is the reaction VA here, reaction VB here, reaction VB2 here in the part BC, and reaction VC here. So support reaction can be obtained separately for each of the part of the span. Part AB can be analyzed separately, and you will find the values of reactions VA, VB1, VB2 and VC like this here mentioned at the bottom. Okay, like this. So it was the moment mentioned in the problem. Support reactions which you have obtained, they are mentioned here. Alright, so shear force diagram. The shear force diagram can be maintained, can be developed with help of the reactions starting from the A. 5.23 was the reaction at support A, upward in direction as per our sign convention above to the baseline. Will continue till the point of application of load 10 kilonewton. Then will go downward. That means what? From 5.23 subtract 10, you will reach at 4.78 in the zone below to the baseline. Continue till the end B or support B. From at support B, you will have some reaction. Support B, you will have some reaction. VB2, that is 5.8. VB1 will get diminished by 4.78, counteracted here at B, and VB2 5.8 kilonewton would be above to the baseline, and from this position you have to vary hyperbolically till the end C. To develop the bending moment diagram, you need to find out, you need to compute the moments at A. It is known to you. At the position of point load, you can compute the moment. So the variation is linear and the parabolic as shown here. So the deflected shape of the beam is shown in the figure D. You can notice since the support A is a fixed end, so there will not be any slope, but slowly the beam will have a slight slope towards downward direction. That means what? From sagging to the hogging zone would be noticed at some position here. Then from hogging to sagging position would be noticed somewhere here, very near to the B, to the left side of the B in the part AB. Then similarly in the part BC, right side of B, you will notice one more point. You will notice one more point where the change of moment is taking place, and just to the near C, to the left side of C, you will again notice one more point of counterflexure. So this entire beam which was fixed at both the ends, at end A and C, will have the point of counterflexure 4 in number. That is the importance of drawing the deflected shape. So we have covered what? We have covered some cases in this entire discussion, that how to apply the method with the beams and how to analyze the beam, and finally how to draw the deflected shape of the beams. One more learning would be required when sometimes after we'll discuss about the analysis of the portal frames with use of this slope deflection method, maybe sometimes after. Till then, I think it was clear to you and you are able to attempt any problem from any book now. So thank you for patient listening and hearing.